Alright, let's take our necessary steps. Music comes back on in here. Music turns off in here. And I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't think there's actually a lot of setup that needs to take place here. So, I've been thinking in the time that I've had to think about our dismal failure on Expansionist. I think I'm going to start over from the top, and I'm going to keep working my way down. And if we fail something, we're just going to move on to the next step after it. Eventually, we'll get all these lined up, which I think will be kind of nice. Turn that volume down just a little bit. And we're going to go with that. Now, what have I done in that intervening period? Well, I'm not like other streamers. I enjoy learning and difficult things. So, I really like to just kind of figure stuff out on the fly when I'm able to. Terraforming seems like a really good start here for just like the basic approach. Yeah, why not? I really like to figure this stuff out on the fly, and I think that's part of the interesting thing of watching this channel is that you're undertaking that learning process with me. There might be some things I know that you don't. There might be some things that you know that I don't. And so as a result of that, as we start with Misha, which I'll explain momentarily, as a result of that, I like to not try and read too much about a game before I sit down to play it. I like to come in relatively spoiler-free so that I can get most of that learning process like actually done on stream. However, I did go and look at a guide for like how do you approach difficult Terraformers levels after we lost the expansion victory. And basically what that guide said, which I think is good advice and I will endeavor to follow, is that for a game called Terraformers, the terraforming aspect is pretty important. And you should consider doing it, which is something that we talked about when we lost that last game. We noted that we really hadn't advanced any of our terraforming parameters, and that was probably an issue. So that's what we're going to try and focus on as we work our way through some of these easier levels, is making sure that we are figuring out where a power plant will go. I think, so this is going to be house, obviously, and then we do like bus station, something else. We can do like lab here, power plants, and then miscellaneous building. So I think that's the biggest thing to work on, is making sure that we're actually advancing terraforming parameters. We're going to take a lab here, and we're going to take a tritium generator. We've got a silicates mine, and we've got a nitrates mine. So we're really well positioned to generate early science. Misha's really well positioned to give us an early bacteria spreader. I guess I would take methanogenium over Deinococcus because the temperature requirement on Deinococcus is really bad. Methanogenium is also pretty bad, but it's slightly better. And I like heat more than atmosphere because heat melts polar ice caps and gives you free terraforming parameters for other stuff. So let's get our first bacteria spreader down because we're pretty well positioned right now to be going for a science build. I guess is the word that I was looking for. I would really like to take the bus station for early expansion. And in fact, because it gives us 2 tiles, maybe I do. Because I can grab here, and then I can grab one of these too if they're just empty to put the bacteria spreader down. I would definitely like 3 tritium thermogenerators eventually, but I don't need them now. So let's start exploring spots that have tritium. Let's start trading for tritium. I would be willing to cough a bit of power for that in the short term, because we know that we'll be able to generate some in the medium term. And now, like, yeah, just give me the thermogenerator. And then give me this exploration. And then give me this bus station. And then we can go here, and now we can produce our science buildings in-house. We're going to need some extra titanium. But we can put you down, and now we're at a solid 2 science per turn on turn 5. Next turn we can explore. We can see if either of these empty tiles are worth expanding to. We'll take an exploration satellite. I'll definitely take a robot hub. I don't know where you go right now. I guess you could go in either of these squares, if we decide we need that expansion slot. And then for the exploration satellites, I really think you're just going to be giving me tritium. We'll explore close to save power and also grab a bit of titanium so we can set this mine up. And then we'll exploration satellite far to get these tritium deposits. And I don't need to expand here yet. I can afford to wait one more turn just to see what's here, but I'm pretty sure both of these are going to be empty. It's just that one of them might be like empty highlands, and so I would want to know that. This is our third generator, so we're done with generators. We don't need to take any more. We just need to build the ones we have. It is highlands. Okay, so in that case, the bacteria spreader is going to go here. I'm also going to change this by one turn to advance this timer. We need 17 to build the bacteria spreader. If I trade for one science one time, I can advance that timer by one turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I think the next couple expansions are just going to be grab every tritium you can find to get these generators online. I don't have space for you, is what the real problem is. Although, well, look, just take it, build it anyway. It's generating you one more thing that you can use to trade with. And then later you can just bulldoze it when you have a better building. So I also want to make sure I'm using these. Let's go ahead and import again, because I wanted to try and find cyanophyta. And then how fast do these expand? You expand every 12, you expand every 11. I might actually still do the heat bacteria. With his genetic modification, I mean. In fact, I think I will. Urban planning is good, and I like it. Natural Reserve Initiative might actually be good to take this early. I don't think I'm going to need it on this difficulty level, but I'm pretty sure that like on later difficulties, this would be really, really good. Yeah, just take it. And then I'd love to put that on a Highland style. How close are we to those silicates? We're a ways off, but we have exploration satellites. We can fix that issue. See, now we're not a ways off at all. And in fact, if we do that, we'll be able to do it next turn. So next turn, a bunch of things happen. We build bacteria spreader. With an exploration action, we might be able to get enough tritium that we can build a thermogenerator. We'll have enough silicates to do a photovoltaic field. There's a bunch of things that are going to pop off. But for the time being, why don't you let cyanophyta expand faster? And then we'll import one more life form for your last turn. Just take more robots. Just because. Do I really want to spend 4 power to do that, though? Nah, I'm just going to explore something closer. So you expand. Be very careful here, because you want to build your bacteria spreader this turn. You're right. So expand here. Build me a bacteria spreader. Start spreading cyanophyta. Stop importing silicates. Start importing titanium. Next turn, you can build a robot hub here, and then you can expand here, and you can build your photovoltaic field. Yes, good. We like this. I don't feel like I need to do that last life form import, so I'm going to skip it. Extra technology, generate science, research all projects. I still don't like Beatrix that much, but maybe it's early enough that we can take this. +1 support for every 2 new mines is like pretty good, maybe. Yeah, I'll try it. And then we would absolutely love to have that. So Robot Hub is now really important. Explore here, because it's just a ton of titanium. Expand here. Give me this expansion for power. And then even though... Oh, it's not -1 support. We have a bus station. So yeah, just give me this spaceport. Which, when we reach this tile, and we build a mine on it, this is going to be a phenomenal spaceport. It's going to hit 3 mines, and it's going to be connected to a city if we decide to put a city there. Now, what do we want to do with our trade routes? I think we could probably start just importing oceans. No, you should... Well, you should build a thermo generator first. Should you? Is that true? You definitely don't need to import titanium, because you're going to be able to explore for all of it around here. Yeah, I think we just finish this project. And then we'll explore for tritium for a couple turns. I do not need a Donley lab this early. I'll just take 50 support. I'll take a robot hub. We're getting close to founding city number 2. You can explore here for tritium. You can... You don't know where tritium is. Alright, well, I'll grab titanium then. Yeah, we need 4 more water for our next city. Okay. Metallidurns are not going to happen this game, so give me the Alpine Pine Forest. Give me... We do have 8 cards right now. We can spend this turn, so I can take 1 more. And we can spend that. I really got to get some more titanium in here, because if I can build another robot hub, I can grab that tile, and we can mine titanium so that we can build all the rest of this stuff. Titanium is a bit of an issue for us right now. Maybe it's time to bulldoze that lab, because we don't really need it anymore. Alright, so get me titanium. That's +2. I don't think it's that important. We can just explore for it. It's an early earthquake, which is a little unfortunate. We are going to have to think about food eventually, so I'll take a greenhouse farm. I don't want to repair that right now, because I'd like to set a new city up instead. I don't think I'm going to set that off. Just give me the safe play. Give me 2 more robots. Expand here to this titanium deposit. Expand here to this empty tile, because that can be a landing pad. And then you're probably going to be a city, because you'll have nice radiation protection. You're not really that close to anything, but maybe that'll be okay. Next turn, this is done. It doesn't do anything for us immediately, but it does move the needle on some of these terraforming projects. And then what's far away? All of these, basically. Explore there and there. Next turn, we can get this. This will get a nice boost to support. This will be a good city to start. And I can't spend food on you, and I can't spend food on you, because I need all of it for this city. But I can spend... I should spend a titanium on the mine before I do it on the landing pad. And I have to throw something out here. I can throw out 1 tritium thermogenerator with how tight we are on tritium right now. And now I'm pretty sure we can just get away with importing all of our tritium. And we can trade away a little bit of science for the time being. Again? Sure. Not going to say no to it. Oh, 2 sandstones. Alright, this is going to be a good city. This is going to be a very good city. Where do we want it to go? Well, I'm seeing house, 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 support, and then some auxiliary buildings. I'm seeing farm, 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 and soil factory. I'm seeing minor, like research building, university. And then we have 2 free buildings. So we've got 4 slots overall that are unspoken for. That looks like a very good arrangement to me. Go ahead and put you here. Can't do anything else for now because we have no power. But once we do, we've got a robot hub for you. And we've got... Well, you don't have any slots where we could put a landing pad immediately, but we can't just, like, stick one over here for the extra trade route. Give you a little something like that. Should be pretty good. I think power's got to be the best thing here, right? Because we mine titanium and we can explore for titanium. We can explore for water and we found an aquifer. But we only make 2 power per turn, and we're really power hungry right now. So give me the power. I kind of want to pick that up, but we're honestly at 8 projects already, and I don't think it's getting built anytime soon, so just leave it. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll be able to build a robot hub next turn. And then we'll start... well, we could set up a treatment center. These would be kind of nice to have, so we'll put one here. This is one of your flex slots. We can put one here. We can prepare this tile for being a robot hub. And then we don't need you. You can just turn back into science. And what do you do? Plus 2 support per turn for every treatment center anywhere on the planet. That's not that great. You heard it here first. I don't think that's very good. I also don't think any of these are very good, so we'll turn them into science as well. But now we get to proceed with our plan. Support is -7. Not for long. Expand me here, expand me here. And I have 3 power to play with. I'd like to work my way up to where I want the farms to go, so we'll start expanding in that direction. Anything really far away that's worth grabbing? Not really, so I'll just grab some support. And then we're out of power? Well, fine, then. That's going to get bulldozed eventually, but for now, at least we're getting some support. Next turn, I want 3 power so that I can delete a rock and I can put a greenhouse farm down. That'll put us at 8. If I get really lucky, maybe I'll find a place that tritium exists. I think this is the first time we've seen a research center, and I would really like one. So let's stop exporting that. Start exporting that, just temporarily. We only need to bring in 1 more of you. And then what do we want to go for after that? I guess titanium. Like, we need titanium for you, for any mine. We do need food for sandstones, but we're about to start growing it. So delete you, you go here. We're going to do this, but it's really just to get 3 science. Because I don't have the power to explore with you anyway. And I think that's the turn. I think that's the turn. Power is an issue, but then, you know, what else is new? So we can destroy 1 more rock. You're going to be a soil factory. Don't export that anymore. Just throw some silicates out really temporarily, and then come in here. Start building my power plant. Nowhere to put this landing pad currently. We're going to get 3 science again, which actually puts us at 14, which means that we can just build this thing. And maybe we build... well, no. We already built robot hubs on top of you. We could build you on top of the treatment center. It's not like that good. Yeah, get owned. I would much rather have that. And then we can spread a life form as well. Maybe? Probably not. Maybe. Versus... I don't actually think I've even found a tile that floods yet. So, Svetlana's probably going to be fine. We're improving terraforming parameters. Good. I don't need another research center. I'm fine seeing 5. I think that's good enough. I don't really like any of these. So I'm going to throw them out. And then I'm going to explore. I'd like to find a tile with nitrate so I can build this soil factory this turn. I guess, like, you're pretty good with titanium and water. And then you come in here. We don't need to do that export anymore. In fact, let's reset all of these. Set up a guided tour, so we're now positive support despite the fact that one of our buildings is destroyed and generating -10 support per turn. So I'd say that's in a pretty good place. It's really just power. We're always short on power. So let's import that. Don't need science for the foreseeable future. Don't need silicates for the foreseeable future. Could have New Zagreb produce again. Should get a ton of stuff from that. Yeah. Negative temperatures are bad. That's fine. We can work on that. Thank you. I would love it, but I'd also love it. I wish I could pick 2 buildings, but I can't. So we don't want to export that anymore. Export nitrates instead. And now we want to explore silicates. So we've got one here that's pretty close. We'll take a little +3 from that. We have a CO2 factory that we can finally build. We have sandstones that we can finally build. This, instead of being science, and then like an academy, it might just end up being 3 terraforming buildings, and then later we can destroy those. So we need to get rid of this rock, which means we can't build the CO2 factory this turn, but we can do it next turn. I also really need a robot hub to show up, like, quite badly. I also want to build this other tritium thermogenerator. We have not been getting super lucky with building choices here. There's a lot of stuff that I would really like to have, like a bus station. Well, here's a robot hub. Food factories, though. Haven't seen, like, any greenhouses or tuber farms. I haven't seen a development center, so I can pick more than 1 building per turn. It feels a hair unlucky. So get rid of this. You're not connected, right? Get rid of that. Here. Mostly just to get this aquifer so that we're producing something. And then you're going to chill, because I need a bus station. But I'll overwork you. Doesn't give us much, but it's something. And now you give me all of the things at once. I see how it is. I would want to take you, I want to take you, I want to take you, I want to take you. Bus station's going to be most important, though. It's going to get us to new mining tiles down here in Red Fosse. Set up a mine. We only need to import 1 more of these. What should the rest be? It should be power, obviously. You can't explore because we don't have enough power, so just grab this tile and see what it is. It's totally empty. And then give me some urban planning, which is really just going to be science because we don't produce that much food. Lightweight hull structures is really good. Especially because we're so starved on tritium on this map right now. But then regional buildings being cheaper is also really good. That's better spreader buildings, basically. I'll take that instead. +2 science? No, we have to take the development center because it's here. So we can't export you anymore. I'll export a water, I'll export a titanium. And then build me my second power plant. Explore here. City location. I know you're going to be upset about it. You're just going to have to deal for a little bit, and our support is kind of fine. So get rid of... Well, no, I need to get back up to 6 for a bus station. 1, 2, 3. Trade a food away. We're saving up for development center. We're saving up for resonance station. So we can't trade silicates, we can't trade science. Everything else is fair game. I would really like both of these. Can I justify taking both of them? Not really. Actually, hang on, I'm doing math. This is so greedy. Are you really going to be this greedy? Yeah, I think I'm going to be this greedy. +3, that's fine. I accounted for this, and then I don't really think I need the support right now, so you get out of here, and now we're at 20. So we can take a development center, so I can both have my cake and eat it too. Now what cake do I want? That's the only Highland tile we know about. You have a mine on you and your support. So I'm not thrilled about the prospect of a photovoltaic field. I think I just go space project, space project. And then do I dare to reset you? No, I reset you next turn so I can build the bus station. Don't need another one of you. That's fine. I would take you, though, because you're food. +1 power for every 3 mines. 1, 2, 3. So you're basically the same thing as a tritium thermogenerator. Basically. I don't think any of our cities are ever going to get to 6 mines. But I'm saving my silicates for the resonance station right now, so I don't really want to take you. I'm definitely not going to build 2 development centers. I'm probably not going to build 2 oxygen factories, since cyanophyte is our main life form right now, and I really don't need an igloo. So yeah, you're all getting turned into science. And then we come down here, we say, thanks for your service, but you're gone. We explore here. We expand here. We get 3 science, I guess. Next turn you're at 8. You would like to be at 10 for a cultured meat lab. We could 19, 20, 21, 22. We could just finish the resonance station next turn, and then we could pivot into working on these projects that cost silicates. Import me 1 power as well. Get rid of food, you don't need it. Get rid of water, you don't need it. Get rid of nitrates, you don't need it. I think that's a fine trade for next turn. 25 silicates. I mean, I guess. It's kind of free. It's sort of free. Take the spaceport, take the delivery drones. Reset all your trade routes. Do something like that. Come up here, build your resonance station. 6 power per turn. I would rather have the expansion point here, because then I can get this, which is probably going to be a titanium mine, and this, which, like, I don't really need the city to be there, so you can just be a useful flat tile. You can put, like, a bacteria spreader there or something later on. And then do you have anything you can reach for 2? Yeah, you can reach this. It's just another cave. Okay. That's fine. So these next couple turns are going to be very scuffed. We're getting a silicates asteroid when we don't really need silicates, but it's mostly just to build a buffer up. And then we have a couple space projects to work on. We've got a lot of long-term things going on in our hand, like this spaceport we're miles away from, plant spreader, miles away from it, CO2 factory. Sort of getting there, but miles away from it. We don't currently have a plan, but that's okay because we're executing on terraforming parameters, and our support is in a really good spot. So in that case, what I would want to do is press our advantage, which means taking dark bacteria, which is going to make it easier to do life form stuff later. I don't want any of these. Well, 21 power to double titanium. We are going to have 2 titanium mines here, probably. I think that's it. We're probably only going to have 2 titanium mines here. But 21 power is a lot of power. I think I throw all these out. Does the spaceport give support to multiple cities in range? It does. It will give support to any city that touches it. I don't think on this... So where it would go on this map is it would go where this bacteria spreader is, if we were interested in city support. You connect here and here. But then I'm only getting 1 free trade route out of the mine. Instead, I think it's going to go here, so that I get 2 nitrate trade routes, and then I get a silicate trade route. I would rather have the free resource income than the comfort, at least at this difficulty level. As we scale up, that calculus probably changes. Also, where I'd really like to go is I want to get this cultured meat lab here, but I'm going to need power, so I think that needs to wait for next turn. And also, hi to you as well. Thermal updraft tower. I don't know what you do. 1 power per turn per temperature level above 0. That's not for me right now. What is for me right now is a greenhouse farm, though. Atmosphere's up. This is very important. So what do we throw out to get it? I think we throw out an orbital telescope to get it. +2 science income's fine for me right now. So give me this. And as much as I'd like an Android hub, I don't feel like I need the expansion tiles right now, so just give me another prospective spaceport. And then you're gone, you're in. Next turn, you're gone, and you're in. And then our food production's going to the moon. Now, what do we need to explore in the meantime? We need tritium. But I think I still don't actually know where tritium is. So what do I need instead? God, like pretty much only tritium. I guess let's start working towards 30 nitrates so we can build a plant spreader eventually. And then you've got 2 power. You can explore this tile, since we haven't yet. I would like to know what's here as well eventually. Maybe that's a next turn kind of thing. Svetlana, you've done a very good job for us. I'm very pleased. Mariam would be fine. Nylia would also probably just be fine. But I think the flexibility of a drone hub is going to outweigh anything that Nylia does for us, even though Trade Boost is really nice. Well, we haven't built either of our spaceports yet, actually. Every spaceport is 2 trade routes. Or 1 if we're upgrading over to a spaceport, or a rocket pad, or whatever it's called. Maybe that is better since we have 2 spaceports in our hand right now. Yeah, I think that might actually be better, just because we're sitting on both of these right now. I don't really think I care about any of you. Wouldn't mind having a second plant spreader, but our nitrates income is pretty bad. Oh, I'll take it. I think that's got the most chance of being built, but it's also possible that just gets thrown out eventually. So you're gone, you come in here. We should never have to think about food production again. You have 1 power, you're not going to be able to do anything. So why don't you just produce here, because this is where all of our power is. Oh, it's support, it's not power, you fool. Alright, that's fine. That really would not have changed the way we played that anyway. And then we're at 2 oxygen already, we're at 1 atmosphere. I think now we could probably start to pivot to heat. So why don't you give me heat here. Start working on the polar caps. God, I want to take this. Well, we can. We can throw the asteroid project out. Get out of here. You can come in here. And then the rest of this is just ludicrously expensive for us to build right now. So I don't think any of that's happening. But this, oh yeah. Turn it up. I would take a canyon view. And then next turn I'll have enough power to build that second titanium mine. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with tritium, though. I think I need to set up a city over here. There's some really good mines over in this area of the map. We do a crater with a bus station, and we can reach here, here, and here, plus whatever's going on down in this area. So I think next turn maybe we explore that spot, and then we build a city here. It also has a water mine. It also has fertile soil. That's actually, pretty good. So that would be house, 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 support, farm, just no adjacency bonuses, but +2 food on its own is fine. Something like a robot hub, and then mine, and then maybe another secondary power station over here or something. We can work it out, but I think that'll be a good city to expand to. God, please, let me finish one first. It's too much. I'm not doing any of these. I've got a pretty clear goal with what's in my hand right now. So you come in here. You... How far away is that? That's 5 power? I will exploration satellite that. And then we go found city. Sure. You can go here. And then we're looking for a robot hub soon-ish. And then you can explore here because it's cheaper. And then we can build you. So next on the agenda is these spaceports, which means getting this tritium up ASAP and also just finding other sources of tritium. We are so hard up for it right now. I almost think do this. Because if we put a spaceport here, we get a bus station here and we expand up to here, that's 3 free trade routes, so we'll just get 3 tritium per turn for giving away things that we don't actually use. So it's gonna suck short term because we're not making terraforming progress on anything. But long term, I think we're gonna be happy that we did it. I mean, you're so cheap that it doesn't really matter. This is probably never happening. Maybe? Checking O2 levels? Amazonas does have O2 level 1, so you're just 2 titanium per turn once we get to level 3? Once we get to level 2. And then even further. But, like, we're kind of good on titanium. I've already got 2 per turn. I don't think I take any of these again. I think you will just go away. And then I just think I keep expanding out here to look for tritium, which really does not exist on this map at all. At all, at all. I'm not saving food and power for anything. I'm making 6 per turn, so you can come in here just to get a little extra support going. Atlantic herring or deer? I'll take the spreader building. A landing pad? Yeah. And then like a skyscraper, maybe? It's a very speculative skyscraper, but it could happen. You can just go here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So next turn I can build a spaceport. That's great news. I'm very pleased with that news. Tritium. A little late, but I'll still take it. And then we take a robot hub. And then I'd really like to take MarsNet, but I want all these projects currently. So I'll just take another spreader building. And again, all of these are on thin ice. They can get thrown out at my whim, basically. Because I definitely don't think I need 3. I absolutely want 1. 2, we're getting into, like, it would be kind of nice territory. And 3 is borrowed time. Missing resources. Oh yeah, you're missing power. That's fair. So get up here, hit the tritium mine. Get up here, take the -1 support penalty, just because when we upgrade this to a spaceport, I really want it to be able to hit all 3 mines. So go down tritium, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then everything else can go into projects, space projects. Export you, for now. We'll revise that a little further as we get closer to the deadline. And then you can also be City of the Year if you want. 40 nitrates? Unlikely. 23 water? More likely than you think. Also a house more likely than you think. Because I've been looking for something to go here for a while. And that's just for support. I don't even know what I'm going to do with the expansion slot. In fact, I actually don't think I have a plan for that expansion slot right now. I'll just leave it. You could take like the volcano, but we're not going to restart the volcano for a very long time, if we do it at all. You could take this spot, but we might end up doing a city up there. You never know. So I'm just going to let it sit there and think about what it's done. And then you can come in here, reset all my trade routes, focus everything that you can afford into that project. And then do a little bit of that, and then claim your free mines. And now we have 2 free tritium per turn. And it's not free, but we're not using this stuff. You still can't do anything? +2 support per turn per trade route. The most temporary of temporary buildings. As soon as we find a 3rd tritium thermal generator, your ass is out of here. But I would take 6 support per turn for free temporarily. And then let's keep stacking up our methanogenium. It's going to take a long time to spread out there, but it's okay. Cloud scraping canopy. Per plant I spread for 30 science. I don't see a future where that happens in like a prompt manner, so you can go. I don't see a future where any of these things happen in a prompt manner, so they can all go, except for you. If I've got just a little throwaway spot that I can put you in, I'll do it. It's a science for stuff that we get already. And then let's start working on nitrate, see if we can get a plant spreader up. Because when this project finishes, we should be able to start growing a couple plants somewhere. Don't know where yet, but somewhere, certainly. I'll take another bacteria spreader. I wouldn't take any of the other stuff, though. I think I need to stay focused on nitrates here, but I do feel like we're wheel spinning. Maybe I should take titanium instead, because if a robot hub shows up, I take a robot hub, I build it here, and then we get tile, and that's where our new spreader buildings go. So actually, let's make some preparations for if we see a robot hub show up, and just make sure we have the titanium ready. I don't really care about any of you. I would almost take a hab module, but I've got a skyscraper instead. I'll just save up for the skyscraper. I would take you, but I have no space. I don't feel like I need you. I definitely don't need you. So you're just going to be science. It's as simple as that. And then we keep working on nitrates so that we can have this plant spreader ready when this project finishes. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. Start dumping it in there. I feel like we've accomplished very little for the last 5 turns or so, which I'm a little concerned about. But mine resources is going to be very strong. And as neat as the synergy is between Trade Center and whatever it is that Nylia's permanent boost is, mine resources is just so strong. So strong. I don't want any of these. Our blueprint pricks have been not good this game. So I think we build a tritium mine, and then we just mine a shitload of tritium, because we're going to need it for this project. We put 2 more in there, so that project is complete next turn, and then we start working on you. We can also build our second spaceport. Where might we want that to go? The first spot that I look at is here, because we get the comfort of living bonus. But I'm upset that it would overwrite a bacteria spreader. The second place I look is here. We get a +1 comfort plus a silicates deposit, plus if we make a city in Arabia, it would also get the benefit. But it's a little underwhelming. And also we can't expand to that tile anyway, so who cares? The third place I look is like, you're not even that good. You get 1 free titanium route. You're not that good. You get 1 free titanium route. And maybe a city adjacency bonus eventually, but this is a horrendous city location. I might just end up upgrading you and taking 1 trade route instead of 2, but then we get another free nitrate export. We get a water export. So we get an extra tritium, and then we just have more trade routes. I think that's probably fine. And then we're still working on nitrates. So anything you see with big nitrates, go for it. I don't think there's any big nitrates, so anything you see with small nitrates, also go for it. And then Robot Hub. All I want to see is Robot Hub. Robot Hub, Android Hub, I would take either. No. No, none of you. You've failed to cooperate. We'll take a skyscraper, turn the rest into science, flood the planet, start working on this. Landing pad next to tritium. Hey, this one? I mean, yeah. We're never going to use that tritium export. Or did you mean here? Because I don't want to do the mine on the nitrates deposit. Which, speaking of, we should go drill titanium so that next turn we can actually build that mine. Because we're just short on power for it. I didn't feel like I had a great place to put it. Which is, you know, the way it goes. I will take 3 food, though. I'll also build this water mine, finally. So now we're at 6, 7, 8. That's still enough to build the pit mine next turn. 6. That's only going to be 6, but I can explore a titanium tile next turn. No, that math doesn't work. You need to do that. And then this. Just finish the project. If I have to wait a turn on the nitrates mine, so be it. I would really rather... Thank you. I would really... Thank you. I would really rather just clear projects when I have the capability of doing so. And then you come here, and now we get ready to spread. So expand here, expand here. Grab your drill. Get me nitrates. Bacteria spreader here. Continue doing heat. Plant spreader here. Can't spread anything yet. Need temperature for both of them. Interesting. We are working on it, at least. And then do you still need titanium? Yes, because you want to get this nitrates mine up. Some of your trade routes aren't assigned. Oh, like all of them aren't assigned. That's pretty true. What do I need? Next turn we can make a skyscraper. Don't need food. Probably still need power. Don't need science. Don't really need that second water. Also don't need this food. Alright, and now? Now nothing can stop us. The economy is fully constructed now. I would love... Actually, I could just, like, take the heliostat power plant. We'll upgrade you. It's only going to be net +1 power, but +1 power is +1 power. More support, more planet flooding. We recalibrate for you. These are all free. And then we have 4 free imports to spend on you and you. Next turn, we can make the nitrates deposit. We could even drill titanium this turn and actually make it this turn. And then you come up here, pit mine. Now we have an extra export. I don't want to export the third one because I'd like to build these other 2 plant spreaders eventually. And then we've also got a place for a skyscraper. Plus 13 support. Pretty good. I don't think I'm going to build another city this game, so why don't you just expand here? And then why don't you expand here at the cost of -1 support just to get more titanium? I can soak that. We're at 1500 support, we're only getting -1 per turn. We have an enormous buffer built up. We can take some time. And we still cannot plant spread. Temperature's not right. What are you upset about? I'm exporting more than I'm importing. I get 1 more free import. Sure. Oxygen increase. Robots. I think I'm at a point in my life where I don't need a landing pad. I think my regional tiles are more valuable than that now. They do, but I'm also at turn 45, and I could probably just like finish terraforming parameters to win. So I'm just going to focus on crossing the finish line at this point. Do something like take an oxygen factory. Because we've got a lot of expansion tiles here still. And in fact, you can destroy 5 rocks per turn. Let's make use of that before you leave. Because we've still got a lot of rocks around. And then I can also come over here. You're going to be houses maybe eventually. You're going to be power maybe eventually. So this is just like a dumping area. You can go here for silicates, here for silicates, here for support, how about? And then here for silicates. We wouldn't mind expanding a little further though. This is an elevated tile. Large aquifer down there. Water tile we could do some fun expansion with. Lots of stuff we could do over there still. And then what else do we need? Just grab tritium. This is going to have to get turned down for a little bit. And then import... Actually, I'm looking, I can build you too. I guess just like import some science. Export some food for 1 turn. Because after that we're going to drill. Sure and sure. I think those are fine. I would like tritium so that I can turn these off. Well, reset it. Free, 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 free. Do something like that, and then you have 8 to spend. Do that. Yeah, like you're not wrong, but we're at a point where the game will end from us doing terraforming parameters and spreading life. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Research center needs to stay. Laboratory probably doesn't need to stay. Let's replace you with terraforming. Plus 15 atmosphere. I should be doing that more than I am, probably. Just fill the space out. And how close are we to another plant spreader? Pretty close. 22. We explore like 1 more nitrates tile next turn, and I think we'll have it. We can build another one of them. T24, 25. Take a break and do this one quick. Polar bears are temperate forest? I'll be taking a temperate forest. I might need to grab a dock, since we've got a couple aquatic locations right now. And then where did I want that power plant to go? It could go here when we get the expansion tile, which would be kind of nice. You should actually be a dock. You could be a... No, you're Highlands. You're so valuable as Highlands. Could also just take a support building. That's probably the safest option here. You've got one, you've got one. You don't yet have one, so you can have that. And then do we have anywhere we can explore for cheap? Not really. That's okay. Power is still a little rough. Four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then start working on that. I'm okay if most of your turns are just drilling for tritium, with how important it is. 24 nitrates, 25 next turn. I could slightly change the calculus on that if I... No, because they're the free ones. I'll just wait. I'm patient. Open science database? Probably not. Animal tracking? Probably. That's going to be quite a bit of support for us. And then, like, maybe. And also, maybe. And then I think it's actually your time to go. Complete you. Refocus on you. And then we've got 2 free. No, that's not... We can do better than that. Because we can do this to get a plant spreader, which will go here, which will expand to here. And then next turn we can drill for tritium. So I'll just put this into science for the time being and get rid of food. Bacteria spreader feels like it does not do a lot anymore at this point in the game. I'd rather it be like any of the other 2 spreader buildings. And I'd also rather finish the animal spreading project that uses science than build a bacteria spreader that uses science. So I think I'd just go for tile expansions. And like maybe there's a chance that you get built. We're not doing anything else with our silicate, so I guess I would just take you. And where do I have room for terraforming buildings? Back here. Just stick one over there. Now, this turn, I need you to drill tritium. Atmosphere will take care of itself. I don't really need you to do that right now. And then we reallocate these to put them here. How many do I actually have? 9. There we go. And then we allocate these. I actually don't want to do the water route. I want to start working on an animal spreader. So let's import water. Set up some guided tours just to make sure our support is okay. And then what could you do with expansion tiles? You could get a silicate mine. You could get an elevated tile. We could also skip the silicate mine and make you a dock. You should be a dock, actually. Let's try this. Never mind, I don't have the power. Next turn, let's try this. Let's take you because you're there. Arthur, you've done great. Seems like a really good time for Craig to show up. Because we don't have a ton of space projects right now, and we're fine on support. So I am going to take Craig. Here's our 3rd tritium thermo generator, finally. On turn 51. And then you might matter quite a bit when we want to grow plants, so I'll take you. We come in here, set up more robots, expand here, leave it. That's not going to be a mine. Explore for water. You can also explore for water. So that we get the extra science per turn, because I don't want any of those. Next turn we can do animal tracking. If I take 1 away from you and I put 1 into you, we can make a dock next turn. And then we can grab this tile, so we can build an ocean lab, and we can build a large aquifer, and we can build a large nitrate mine in the ocean. It's going to make people in Bulletbeck Base quite unhappy, if we're being totally honest with each other, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure they will live. And in fact, like plus 17 support? No, That's too much. You don't need to go that crazy with it. The other thing I would really like to see here pretty soon is like a good animal to spread. Because we're getting close to being able to build an animal spreader, and all of our animals are kind of bad. So like lifeform delivery would help with that. I'm pretty sure you're going to explore this turn so that I can see extra projects. It doesn't really matter where, so I can research extra projects. And then I'm going to take a shipwright. I might need it. A domed park, like I might need, and we can just build it right now anyway. And then I'll just take a spaceport because I can afford it. Improve terraforming parameters, reset our trade, do a bit of that. Fill up some free trade routes so we can get 2 free water. Next turn we should be able to make an animal spreader if we explore a water tile. And then import power, export food. What did I spend my power on that I forgot? Oh, exploring. That's what I spent it on. You fool. Don't spend your water either. Stop and think about what you're doing. You can win this game in a short amount of time if you just focus on the buttons that you're pressing rather than pressing buttons because they're available. Let's spread methanogenium because it changes the math on our heat quite a bit. That advances our heat parameter by a full turn. And then after that, that was you as the bacteria spreader, you're getting replaced. You're no longer necessary. We don't need you here anymore. Am I allowed to spend silicates and nitrates right now? I guess technically. So you're +4 and then another +4, so you should go where skyscrapers live. And skyscrapers are going to live down here. But you need that expansion tile. 55. Next turn you have 60. You're going to build a skyscraper here. It's going to give you 2 expansion tiles. You're going to replace delivery drones with a domed park. It's going to give you massive support per turn. So just remember that you want to do that and leave these alone. Which means you're not doing anything else this turn. I think. Is that correct? I think that's correct. I think we just passed this turn. And then next turn we do a lot. Water asteroid? Actually, yes. Very good. Artificial magnetic field? Actually, yes. Very good. We'll take a water building. We might have the opportunity to use it. Reset your trade routes. Start working on that. Put 1 science in there. You get 1, 2 free. And then use that to import 2 tritium so I can start working on more spaceports. Now, your plan. Skyscraper, +17. Domed park, plus like a lot. And then you have an expansion tile. Hey, rich soil would be alright. This is also just like a spreader building though, so let's take that one. And then you have 17 water. If you explore a water tile this turn, you can build an animal spreader. Do you need the power for anything else? Yes, you need 8 power for a dock. You have 16. You can afford to do that. The animal spreader goes here. And then we spread herring. Good. Build your dock. Good. Expand. Expand. Exploration satellite. Expand. Deep ocean mine and ocean pit mine. And then we need silicates for this ocean lab, which I'm not, like, thrilled about the idea of an ocean lab. I'm actually not thrilled about either of these. I don't need 3 science per turn. I don't need 3 food per turn. If a better building comes along, something that advances terraforming parameters, I'd probably build that instead. But I don't know if it's going to come along. So, if we can get the silicates together, or the nitrates together. We might just build it because, and then commit to replacing it later if we want to. Deimos is also here. Probably not in this lifetime. Probably yes. 50 atmosphere is a lot of atmosphere. Spare trade routes are going to go here, just to finish that project out. I'll allocate everything to it now. And I'm looking for good animals. No temperature and 1 oxygen. Hey, they spread fast, so I guess I'll take it. Select a location to explore. I don't think it matters. I'd like to get another plant spreader up, so maybe we focus on spots that have nitrates. Focus on spots that have nitrates. Bin the rest of these. What's your next plan? What are you working on? You have 3 spaceports sitting in your hand doing nothing. That seems like a good candidate for building. What's the earliest you can make one? 8, 10, for 2 turns from now, if you're really careful with your power use. Okay. Plant spreader is coming. We're getting 2 nitrates per turn, but in reality it's a lot more than that because we have a lot of mine potential set up. Your cloud seeder's just sitting here waiting until you actually have something that's worth seeding clouds for. Your tritium thermo generator realistically is probably never getting built. And then if we hit 17 water, we would make an oxygen factory, maybe, but we're about to cap it out. And we're near-ish capping out on oxygen or atmosphere because we've got this project as well. So this is also a candidate for maybe getting thrown out of our hand. Here we go. That's exactly what we wanted to see. I would take these 2. And now we are going to genetic engineer the shit out of this rainforest. 2 heat. Do we have 2 heat anywhere? No, you have 1 heat in a lot of places, but you're about to go to 2 heat. So we don't actually need to do the cold resistance gene mod. Is it locked in? There we go. Or we could do oxygen. We can't gene mod any of them. So if we make a cloud seeder here, will be 2 water, 2 heat next turn. We don't even need a cloud seeder here. Yeah, we gotta... Oh, but he doesn't have the rain modification. That's what I'm missing. I need a lot of water to get these rainforests down. Is there anywhere else that's a better candidate? Tempe's not. Elysium's not. I don't have anywhere that's 2 rainfall right now. So I can at least do the cloud seeder. You're long-term enough that I think now you probably shift to plankton. Do not overwrite that tile, it's methanogenium. Do not overwrite that tile, it's methanogenium. I'm going to wait 1 turn to spread that bacteria. Okay, I'm also 2 over project. Get out of here. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not going to be able to get the water mod, so you might as well just cut it down to one temperature with the gene mod. A building with spread of lifeform actions available, I know that. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to save it for 1 turn. Because by saving it for 1 turn... Bus station. House. By saving it for 1 turn, now what I can do is I can go here, I can say, you should be plankton instead, because plankton generate a lot more terraforming parameters and give quite a bit more support. And it doesn't affect our ability to hit that temperature parameter that turn. The other thing that I can do is I can build a cloud seeder here This nitrates mine isn't that important. And next turn, I can build a rainforest here, and that may be enough support income to just win the game on the spot. We'll see. I'm also looking for an animal spreader building at this point, now that we mined that asteroid. In the meantime, we could just spend it on another oxygen factory. And then you're unhappy because you have no bus station. This can be fixed. I'm not really that interested in building placement at all there anymore. I just want to get them down. So that's good. Everything over here is fine. We're really just hurting for lack of spreader buildings. Let's stop exporting nitrates. 8, 10, 13. We have so much titanium. Do this, do that. And then export a food. With this, we can build a spaceport next turn. This project finishes next turn. It'll make people even happier. It'll increase our support income. We will get closer to winning. Craig can afford to explore, just not very far. Grab extra nitrates. I'm not going to need you. We're really close to maxing them out. You can just become science instead. And then find me even more nitrates. I don't care about tritium anymore. You missed your shot. Here, just take these. Next turn, we're at 24. We can explore one tile. We'll be at 26. We can build another plant spreader. 2 water per turn. It still doesn't get me out of bed. This gets me out of bed. And, like, we're not doing anything else, so you might as well. Enable you. Put all terraforming resources into you. You're not going to be able to support that because you wanted to build a spaceport this turn. And a spaceport almost certainly has to be more important than anything else we could spend our time on. Like, this bacteria spreader has outlived its usefulness. Give me the comfort bonuses. Import 2 tritium to that project, and then just bang this out. Do you want to use any free trade routes? I'll use the free silicates trade route. I'll use the free water trade route because we're close enough that I can just explore a tile to build an animal spreader if one happens to show up. And I'm probably close enough to nitrates as well. Let's just go get the nitrate exploration out of the way. You have 3 power to do this with. Nitrates within 3 tiles? Could I be so lucky? No. No, you cannot be so lucky. Just grab science instead. And then you've got exploration satellites to do the job for you. Now where does the plant spreader go? It's a good question. I think where it probably goes is here. No, that's not the spreader building that fired. Well, and which one is? Oh, no, it's just really short. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to overwrite a building for that. I'd probably overwrite you. I don't think 1 trade route is that important anymore. Shave 1 off of that. And then we have 2 free imports that I'm not paying attention to. Have it be tritium. That's just an overwrite, and you're already present there, so we need to use some of the lesser forest buildings. Like, that's probably fine. And then, surely next turn we can find something to do that wins. We don't need a lot to pop up at this point. Like, a courthouse in a city might do it. That's actually really good. We put it here. And now we're 2 and 1. If I find another cloud seeder, I think we're in business. The other thing that might get us in business is replacing this with a courthouse. Just for slightly higher comfort of life. And then just please, yes, give me like a huge animal that everyone likes. Next time this animal spreader comes up in 3 turns, I think we're home free. Maybe. Yeah, we can put them in. We can put them in Amazonas. They need 2 heat, 3 oxygen. And we're a ways away from heat. I might need to take like a giant mirror or something. No, I can gene mod them. Hang on. Okay. When oxygen finishes in like 3 turns, and when this animal spreader finishes in like 3 turns, we win. We put elephants in Amazonas and we're done. All we gotta do is wait. I'm not confident enough in that I'm going to like just not take any picks, but I'm pretty confident in that. I need to explore tritium. Okay, you're going to be done. You, I don't think I need anymore. You, I definitely don't need anymore. What do we want to import instead? Tritium. And then get rid of, like, 4 science. Don't need tile expansions right now. We're fine. We really are just playing a waiting game. Can't expand you anywhere. Things haven't changed? Yeah, things have not changed. But I can put some of you in here. And then I can just do an exploration, like here. And then I can just cross my fingers that an animal spreader shows up early. Giant heater we don't need. We fix that with gene modding instead. Give me a space project. No animal spreader? It's very late for a gene vault to show up. That would have been nice 15 turns ago. Let's take another Android hub. I'll enable that. I'll throw out this tritium thermogenerator. It's never going to get built. We'll just explore a couple tiles while we wait. Trade route's not assigned? Alright, fine. You win this round. And then next turn? Yeah, next turn we win. Thanks for your time, Craig. This choice doesn't matter. Actually, we didn't even need to get to elephants. We hit the oxygen parameter. We're good. There you go. 61 is pretty slow, but we definitely got through that mid-game slump a lot easier by focusing on terraforming parameters. So that's good and solid advice. On to the next one.